Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video day, and today the Washington Nationals beat the Houston Astros, and the Houston Astros lose in spring training, and they go to 13-10 in spring training, now losing 4-3. But that's not that's not what matters here. What matters is the Houston Astros did something today that they have not seen in 3 years, and that's Lance McCullers Jr. hitting the mound today. Pitched only one inning, look, when you don't pitch for almost 3 years, that's what's going to happen. You're only going to pitch one inning. He hasn't pitched since October 2022. You're not going to see him go out there and pitch 2-3 innings. That is probably what they're hoping for in his next start, because they said he's going to either start Sunday or Monday, and that's what they'd like to see from him, is a multiple inning outing, most likely 2 innings for Lance on Sunday or Monday, which will be one of the last spring training games for this Houston Astros squad. That is the hope for Lance in his next spring training outing. But obviously this first one, you knew it was going to be 1 inning. And I thought his 1 inning looked good. He started off rough. He started off his first at-bat. His first batter started off giving him a 3-0 count. But then he started bouncing back to the point where he got it to a full count. And the only damage he gave up was hitting a batter. Didn't give up a hit, didn't give up a walk or earned run in his inning, and I thought looked really solid in his outing today for this Houston Astros squad. I mean, got a couple ground outs. Obviously didn't strike out anybody, but got a couple ground outs in this inning. A pop out to JP is how the ending ended for Lance, and the fact that in his first outing back in almost 3 years, he only had 13 pitches in the inning. That's impressive, and I'm glad to see him back. This is a huge return when you got guys, former teammates like Alex Bregman, Carlos Correa, Martin Maldonado, and Dallas Keuchel texting Lance about it. It was said that all of those guys texted Lance McCullers Jr. this morning to hype him up for what was going to happen today for him. And it was 869 days it's been since Lance has pitched in a game, and this is the right start. And he said that he felt good going out there and doing that today. And not only that, but he's excited to go back out there again Sunday or Monday, and then pitch a couple games in Sugarland with the Space Cowboys, and then be back with the Houston Astros. And you would think that would put him back with the Astros late April, early May, and that'd be great for this team. So yeah, but this was a loss, but I don't care. I thought the Astros had a big win today, having Lance McCullers Jr. out there on the mound. All right, 4-3 is the final score. 7 hits for the Astros, 9 for the Nationals. 2 errors for both teams. Both of them came for runs. The Astros scored their first run off of an error. The Nationals also scored a couple of their runs on error, or one of their runs on an error, which was because of Jose Altuve, not surprising since he's in left field. But win goes to Trevor Williams. He's 2-0 in spring now. Pitched 5 innings. He had 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 6 strikeouts. Loss goes to Spencer Arrighetti. He piggybacked Lance McCullers in this game and went 3 1/3 in this game today. Gave 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, 4 walks. Yeah, it was an amazing outing for Spence, but that's all right. He's done a pretty good job this spring. Save goes to Helvey, his second save. The spring pitched 2 innings, got a strikeout and 2 walks. Scoring summary: Zach DeZenzo, good and bad news for him. He looked good today, getting a double, but he was hit in the face, and it didn't look too amazing. But the Astros said they'll reevaluate him tomorrow. And so yeah, Dubon was safe at first on fielding error by shortstop C.J. Abrams, and it was 1-0 after that. And then Jeremy Pena hit an RBI single to center to score Altuve, and it's 2-0. JP continues to stay red hot this spring. It's 2-0. Astros had a 2-zip lead, and then in the 4th and 5th inning, the Nationals scored 4 runs. Rosario hit a sac fly and make it 2-1. Another sac fly for the Nationals. Adams hit a sacrifice fly to score Ruiz. It's 2-2. In the 5th inning, another sacrifice fly. This is bad. Sacrifice fly to score a run. Cruz and Garcia Jr. both scored on the sac fly, and then Ruiz to first on fielding error by left fielder Jose Altuve. 4-2. That's a preview what's going to come this season for. It's a preview that's going to come this season for Jose Altuve in left field. I hope it can get better. 6th inning, Caratini had a sac fly. A lot of sac flies in this game. Most of the runs scored in this game were off either errors or sac flies. The only run that wasn't scored today, off the 7 runs that were scored today, the only runs that were not scored today off of RBI, sac flies, or errors was Jeremy Pena's RBI single in the 3rd inning. Outside of that, the rest of the 6 runs scored in this game today by both teams were all sac flies and errors. But yeah, Caratini hit a RBI sac fly in the 6th. Altuve went 1 for 3 today with a double to left in the 3rd, and Cam Smith replaced him. Only got 1 at bat, struck out swinging his only at bat, but it was only 1 AB for Cam Smith. We should see him tomorrow. Jeremy Pena went one for, and he was playing in right field today. Pena went 1 for 4 today. He hit his RBI single to center. He was safe at first on throwing error by third baseman Tena in the 5th inning. So Pena was 1 for 4 today, still batting .419 this spring. Isaac Paredes went 1 for 3 today, single to left in the 3rd inning, flat out to left in the 1st, ground out to shortstop in the 5th. Luis Guillorme replaced him and grounded out to shortstop in his only at bat. Ben Gamble went 1 for 3 today, was at DH, and he singled to center. Cooper Hummel replaced him, struck out looking in his only at bat. Zach DeZenzo looked good today at first base, 1 for 2, double to right in the 2nd inning. 3rd inning, struck out looking. John Singleton, he didn't look bad today. His first at bat, 6th inning, single to center, Gamble to 3rd, 8th inning walk, and made some solid plays at first base. But it doesn't change the fact he's been terrible this spring. Victor Caratini went 0 for 2 today, struck out swinging flat out to left and hit a sac fly for an RBI. Price replaced him, went 0 for 1. Dubon went 1 for 2 today. Not bad for Dubon today. Scored on an error. Brought DeZenzo in on an error. Obviously didn't get the RBI for that. But according to Lance McCullers Jr., who was on air talking with the broadcast in the 2nd inning, according to Lance McCullers Jr., he thinks that that Mauricio Dubon would have beat out the throw, and it should have been a single, but honestly, I don't think it was. But, I mean, Dubon, he reached base every time today. Single to right in the 4th inning, hit by pitch in the 6th inning, reached base in his first at-bat in the 2nd, off that error. So 1 for 2 today, but reached base every time for Dubon today. You like to see it. All right, Brendan Rodgers replaced him, went 0 for 1 in his only at-bat with a pop-out to 2nd. I'd like tomorrow in the Astros game tomorrow. I'd like to see the Astros go ahead and play the guys that came in late in the game who are trying to compete for a roster spot to get more ABs today and didn't get a lot of at bats. I'm talking about guys like John Singleton, Luis Guillorme, Cam Smith, and Brendan Rodgers. I want to see all 4 of those guys in the lineup somehow tomorrow. I'm sure Cam Smith can play in right. You can see Brendan Rodgers at second base. Singleton maybe is at first, and then Guillorme is maybe at shortstop or DH, something like that. I want to see all 4 of those guys because they're all playing well or Singleton, not really, but Singleton had a good day today. But all 3 of Rodgers, Guillorme, and Cam Smith done a great job this spring and are competing for a roster spot. So I want to see all 3 of those guys tomorrow. Now you got Singleton starting to play well, at least today. So I think it makes it more interesting. And if all 4 of those guys are in line up tomorrow, definitely makes it entertaining to see what would happen in tomorrow's game. Chas McCormick went 0 for 3 today. He in his last at-bat, he did something he continues to do a lot this spring, is get a walk. In the 9th inning, he got his 10th walk of spring so far. But he's been terrible outside of that. Grounded into fielder's choice in his first at-bat, grounded out to pitcher, grounded into double play in the 6th inning when the Astros had a couple runners on. And yeah, so it's been bad for Chas McCormick this spring. The only good thing that might have happened for Chas McCormick is Zach DeZenzo gets banged up, but I don't think that's a long-term injury. So with Zach DeZenzo and Cam Smith playing the way they are right now, and both guys should be on this roster, I think that, and both guys looking like they can play right field for this team, I think that incredibly, hurts Chas McCormick. So, he actually might find himself not on this roster. Believe it or not. Well, it's kind of believable with how bad he's been at the plate. Jake Myers went 0 for 3 today, flat out to right, struck out swinging, ground out to shortstop. I'm not going to hate on Jake because he's batting .267 this spring, and he's been miles better than Dubon and Chas McCormick this spring. So I'm going to ease off Jake Myers because he's been so much better than Chas or Dubon. Jacob Melton He came in to replace Jake Myers in this game, but didn't have an at-bat, played in center field, and then Whitaker actually got the at-bat replacing Jacob Melton as a pinch hitter and grounded into double play in his only at-bat. I would have rather have seen Jacob Melton get the at-bat there than Whitaker. Whitaker has done good this spring. I mean, outside this at bat today, you know, even after going 0 for 1 today, he's batting .500 this spring. So it's not like he's been bad, but I'd rather see the top prospect, one of the top prospects, get a chance than Jacob Melton. All right, I went over Lance and Spencer. Brian King came in and continued to show why he needs to be on this roster opening day, as he probably will be. He went 1 2/3, finished that 5th inning for the Astros after Spencer was not able to, and then pitched the 6th inning for the Stros, gave 1 hit, 3 strikeouts, and that was it. But great 1 2/3 of work for Brian King. I thought he looked excellent, and that's what you love to see. And that's the 3rd time he's done that this spring, going 1 2/3. Then Jalen Beeks, one of the newest Astros additions, went 2 innings in the 7th and 8th inning, gave it 3 hits with 2 strikeouts, but didn't give up any earned runs, no walks. Sanchez pitched the 9th inning, gave up a hit, but 2 strikeouts, and the Astros do lose 4-3, but of course, it was great to see Lance McCullers Jr. back out there today, but hopefully we can continue to see him play. So let's hope he stays healthy. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and peace out.